I think it could be fast. Yeah, I think we could see if LGD aren't allowed to take the Enigma again, I think we could see them going for this kind of run at you, try and end things in 30 minutes with Veno, Death Prophet, these more early game oriented heroes, similar to what they did against OG. I don't know if Liquid need to double down on playing fast. Like, I don't know if they have to do these lone druid kind of things. And man, LGD, they are sitting there mashing the ban button, so every single time one of the bans come through, the other one, it just immediately fires straight back on Liquid, trying to keep this momentum going.
Yeah, they
do get our
banned SF the moment the draft started, and then
and then Marcy got banned, and it just snapped straight back to Liquid with the Primal Beast. But cool to see Liquid continue to evolve. Like, the fact that they're now drawing bans on Primal Beast, I think, is a really good look for them. They don't have to add too many more heroes to their repertoire. Their hero pool's already looking good. T-Panda talked about it on the panel. But if they can just keep... If there's still a few more surprises, if there's still a few more things that they've got to kind of round out some of their strategies, I think that's going to look really good. And so now the question for Liquid, we've got Undying, we've still got a Enigma, there's the Morph, there's the Lesh. A lot of questions here. Do we want to play against the Enigma again? Okay.
That's a question. Ooh, not one of the ones listed. Not one of the top heroes at all, but they ban out the Ember. They just choose to flood the deck with all of these strong picks so that they can now grab two of them themselves. So, won't be Enigma, but two big options here for Liquid.
Okay. And... oh, they're going to take the Pango, right. Right. I forgot about it. We were just talking about how amazing Nothing to Say looked on the Pango in the OG series, and then that game one kind of wiped all of my memory of any other games of Dota that had happened today. But Liquid gonna take it for themselves. So the Pango, we have seen it lose the lane pretty hard in a couple of matchups. I think the Lesh, the Bat, notably, but we have seen the hero bounce back. He's a bit of a bouncy ball. So I don't think they're too concerned about picking it up this early in the draft. I don't think it's even really going to be flex. I think they're just like, yeah, whatever. We don't care if you counterpick it. We're still confident with the Pango's ability to have a good game. And, well, yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely, yeah. They'll go with the Enigma Tiny opening once again on PSG.LGD, running it back.
So, still a little bit of a flex. Probably just going to be the Jin Q hero, but... for Liquid, do you try and ban the Nothing to Say hero pool? Like, are you going to get rid of this Lesh? What's going to happen to all of the long-range heroes? I think it's already a consideration for both teams. Like, against the Pango, we've seen it be pretty good. You can just sit there and kill him during the Rolling Thunder. And against the Enigma, it's become a little bit of a preferred answer to just have this much more split-up, wide-open team fight. Where he can't ever find a black hole on your big damage dealer who's just sitting in the back lines.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It kind of comes down to like how they feel like the fights went last game and what they feel like they can use against this this team fight to get the advantage. Because you say it got the single target elimination power of the Tiny, and then that big team fight spell of the Enigma. But to be fair, I do think, for the most part, they dealt with the Enigma quite well in the fights. They were able to get in deep and kill him off pretty early on in most of the engagement. It was just, two really impactful black holes we saw in that game, and that was it.
Yeah, I don't think that they're representing the potential to like end the game before the Enigma is a problem. Though we have seen teams do that successfully. You can like fight into it. You kind of get one round of like gimme black holes around like the 25 minutes where maybe you get black hole but you have buybacks, and then you can carry on the momentum from there. But that doesn't look like Liquid are showing a lineup to be able to end this in 25-30. Of course, it's only 2 picks so far, so it could still be a very big group up and push, and we could still see the Matu Lone Druid making an appearance. But I think they're going to have some answers. What are they going to go for, though? I feel like they do still need to get a boxy hero, which maybe precludes them from like picking the silencer. Okay, we've seen the Naga as like a little bit of an answer to the Enigma in some ways.
Yeah, we even saw a Naga offlane earlier today as well. That was
Yeah.
pretty fruity.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
10 seconds
I think those two bans, they just don't want anything
5
that
seconds
can
remaining.
leave the lane too early. It's like, look, we have Enigma Tiny. We are very confident in our in this dual off lane's potential to just ruin anything that you pick. You're not going to get away with picking something that can just go jungle at level 4. So they ban those out. And Liquid, a little bit of respect to what happened in the previous game. Not going to let LGD just completely run the draft back, as they will get rid of the Lina and the Disruptor.
Remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Okay, so probably just Boxy Hero here. There's still a Tusk. There's still a Clockwork. We've even seen teams like first banning and first phasing Clockwork. But they're gonna go for a Rubik. A little bit of a different look. Is this even gonna be Boxy? I know that I've seen Insania try and get away with the position 5 Rubik a decent amount. Is
I
that
don't
the
think you're
call
ripping
here?
Undying out of Insania's hands. I think you need a crowbar to do that.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
haven't
thinking.
seen one on the Liquid player cam, so likely going to be the Boxy Rubik.
Okay. But a very different look for him, if that is the case. We've certainly seen him play pretty much all melee 4s. I think the only range 4 that I've seen him on is the Snapfire, and that's about it.
Yeah.
He did play some Willow games, actually. I tell a lie. So yeah, yeah. Okay, we'll see how he goes here. It is already looking like a very good Rubik game.
Yeah, of course, ultimately it is to answer the Enigma, steal the black hole. It's impossible to kind of stop that happening unless you've got like a Linken's or something. So that's always going to be a big option for the side of Team Liquid, and going to be something which Faith Beyond, if he's on the Enigma, is going to have to think about. But LGD, they have to think about their picks next. They got 2 picks to come. Likely going to be their mids.
Phoenix. Okay, that's cool. And it's just team fight. It's all team fight all day from PSG.LGD. Yeah. I do like this a lot, because if Liquid if they were even considering the we're just gonna go for some group up, death ball, run at your buildings, we're trying to pick our lone druid, I think this, especially the Phoenix pick, shuts that down massively. And if Liquid do want to team fight them, now they have to invest way more into team fight. You could kind of get away with it, Undying's good, Tombstone's strong, Rolling Thunder is very, very powerful, especially in the early game. But okay, Liquid.
Oh, what an answer! What an answer!
This sniper pick looks fantastic. It really does.
I mean, it's not going to struggle against Puck in the middle lane, I don't think. I think I've seen Sniper turn Pucks inside out in the mid. Great egg killer. Stays far away from the fights for the Tiny and the Enigma. Definitely a very strong option here for Team Liquid, and something which PSG.LGD will probably have to answer with this final pick. I mean, they've got catch, but I feel like you just need a little bit more.
So do you think they're sending Mickey into the safe lane on the Pango, then?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Could LGD
probably
just
not.
Spectre here? Is that too greedy? Maybe it's just going to get banned. What are we looking at? Spectre, PA.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Who's going to get in on top of this pesky sniper and make him regret ever being born?
Yeah, I think I'm definitely looking at Ursa or the Spectre. I mean, if we want to get really left field, you could pull out the Phantom Lancer, but against Pango, I think that's pretty bad, and the hero's not great at the moment, so that's probably enough to deter them from picking it up.
Yeah, it could be good, but you do have to think about what Liquid still have the last overall pick of the draft. So
yeah, that's true. So they can still answer pretty heavily. Yeah. Also, LGD banning out the Zai heroes, getting rid of the Beastmaster, getting rid of the Venomancer.
There's still a Faceless Void as well, which is good here. It's it just comes to mind looking at those two bans from LGD, like Beastmaster, Venomancer. Those are both heroes that are kind of staple counters to the Faceless Void. And okay, so it is going to end up being the Ursa ban, Void, Spectre, PA, PL, LGD. What are they liking in this spot? Morphling.
Oh wait, what's he still doing in the pool?
Yeah, all right. He is the pool. He was camouflaged.
All right. Well, he does make it through to the last pick for PSG.LGD, and they'll be grabbing that one up for themselves. It's a very, very late Morphling. Been one of the most contested carries off the patch, but off the group stage at the very least. But yeah, didn't see it until now in this draft. Liquid, what do they answer with?
And there's a lot of things that you have to kind of answer here. They don't really have the lockdown to kill a puck. I mean, they can deal with the egg. I like the sniper against everything that he got to see in the draft, and now these last couple of picks from LGD looking very nice. And Liquid, we were already considering, like, are they going to stick are they going to execute this lane swap? They could still give Zai the Pango if they feel like there's an amazing Mickey hero in this spot, but I don't know exactly what that would be. Just gonna wait and see. I don't want to speculate too much.
Speculating is very hard.
Yeah, there's still like because it could be a Zai hero, it could be a Mickey hero. What do you like as the Morphling counter? That's
it's tricky because the things like kind of Shivas, maybe Death Prophet, but they'll go for the axe.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's lockdown, it's laning pressure. It does seem like Liquid kind of putting themselves on this run at you line again.
Shockingly.
Look, Liquid have shown a lot of variety in their drafts. I will not stand for this slander.
No, they're definitely not one-trick ponies, and they do have the sniper. They have late game this time around. It's certainly not a game where they're going to be looking to run down lanes. It's just their fighting is. They've got a very brawly lineup, but LGD are doing the exact same thing. They've got a lot of brawl as well. So
please, I don't need another 70-minute long sniper game. We've had one already. We've reached quota.
LGD? That's a bit interesting. We got Army on the Morphling, Faith Beyond playing the puck, and nothing to say on the Tiny. Innocence is on his signature Phoenix, which means it's a Jinkyu Enigma.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Yeah, dang. Okay.
That's interesting. So, surely this just makes it even more tempting to move the sniper to... I mean, the sniper's good whichever lane he goes, and he's fine, he's laughing, so I'm not really too worried about Liquid's lanes, to be honest with you. I think they've got a pretty good start. The only one I worry about is Zai on the axe. This hero has had problems in the lane previously, but Liquid, they did get it in the last picks. They know the matchups, and they seem to be pretty content that Zai's going to do okay in it.
I do like promoting the Tiny here. Like, looking across the Liquid lineup, a Tiny with a fast Blink Dagger can just wreak absolute havoc. And if that's being paired up with this puck that we said we don't really feel like there's that much catch for him, that's going to be a huge amount of space for Ame to just kind of farm up.
Alrighty, let's get into it as we get into game number 2 in this best of 2 matchup here. It is PSG.LGD versus Liquid here at the TI-11 group stages. PSG.LGD currently 1 game up after a huge comeback in game number 1. Liquid looking for a bit of revenge here.
Some people only wish have fun. Some people only wish good luck. We had 1 good luck, have fun. And let the tips begin. What's this? Retiree top lane? Oh, right, because it's Faith Beyond versus Matumba Man. We didn't even talk about this.
Yeah, both of them claiming this is their last TI.
Everyone who's tried to uninstall Dota knows how that might go, but I believe it from these 2 players.
30 seconds
and just glad that we get to see one last run from both of them. They're both looking strong here in the TI-11 group stage and looking to secure that upper bracket berth make it a little bit deeper into the tournament.
Why can't they all just win, basket?
Yeah, it's... I do have a bad habit of always just cheering for the underdog, and even in an individual game, if the game flip-flops, it's like, oh, now I have to cheer for the team that's losing. It's always bad for me because it means no matter what, I'm always cheering for the losing team.
Yep.
There you go. Okay. 2-2 bounty
How
split.
that feels.
Yeah.
Alright, so it is going to be the Pangolier laning in the middle lane. Mickey going to be taking it against the Tiny at the mid. So imagine this is going to be some nice early levels for Nothing to Say as he hits with that big fat tree of his, but then later on things are going to get a bit messy. And talking about messy, Boxy's getting messed up a little bit down here in the bottom lane as LGD are giving him the what for.
Yeah, he's getting absolutely slapped. But Zai does manage to block the Radiant Wave so that it meets underneath the Tier 1 tower. Should be fine for Ame to CS all of this, but it does mean it's going to bounce right back into Zai and get the lane in a nice position for Liquid to start this one out.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So Zai, recognizing that his hero maybe not the strongest earlier on in the game, so he's just going to utilize that fact and mess with the equilibrium as much as possible.
Yeah, just wants to get that Ring of Health, get into the Vanguard. At that point, he could even choose to just trade farm with Ame or keep backlaning, cutting the creeps. They would both get absolute free farm in that situation.
And a lot of trading down here at bottom. A lot of trading happening at mid as well. But, yeah, Hero's getting set on fire left, right, and center. It's messy in this bottom lane. Boxy, he wants to creep so badly, but if he comes in for that, he's just going to die. Can't give Innocence the fire spirit.
Yeah. The salve didn't get cancelled, so it's good for him at the very least.
Yep. Really wanting to exist in the side trees here. It's a tough life. It's a tough life, but they'll do their best to try to equalize, and they have done so far as well as messing with the equilibrium. Seeing turns out it's going to be a really good thing, and that's important as well because I don't think Boxy can get away with pulling the creep wave here either. Like he'll just get run down by Innocence.
Yeah, it's tricky. So the fact that they've managed to get the lane in front of their tower is pretty good. Innocence does manage to stack the small camp. It gets two of the best camps. So that's going to probably wipe out a creep wave in a second. But it is tricky when you stack it against the Axe. He's going to come over and contest and maybe take a whole lot of it. Top lane not looking great for PSG.LGD. Only 7 CS on Faith Beyond, but you know the Enigma denies are going to start kicking in eventually.
Yep, dragging the wave back, making sure the puck is nice and safe, because after all, Enigma can do exactly what he does as position 3, as a position 4. But it just means that somebody else will be reaping the rewards from it.
You see why, well, potentially why Liquid didn't even bother blocking the small camp here when they've got Axe. It just ends up being additional farm for him, really, and Zai gonna get into a very quick Ring of Health.
Yeah, that'll help him out immensely as well, just messing with these creeps and disregarding the lane, basically. That's his singular job.
Yeah, pretty much. Liquid managing to get top lane back into a pretty nice spot right in front of their tower. So kind of difficult for Jinq and Faith Beyond to do anything up here.
Faith Beyond taking a lot of damage from Marty here as well as he's just bodying the puck. This is what we expected the matchup to be at mid. Well, I did for a little bit at least, but
yeah.
It's going to be the same thing up here in the top lane. Marty's just able to click. Super annoying.
Yeah, making this adjustment to give it to Nothing to Say.
Zai taking some heavy hits, but Innocence also pretty low. Boxy not exactly the epitome of health either, so everybody just kind of running away from each other, and yeah, no one really going down. As in the bottom lane, they're trying to chase down the puck even. Such aggression coming out here from Liquid. We saw this last game as well, just pushing through and really hammering down. They don't just want to win the lane, they want to destroy it, but it's actually the Zaya's going to fall down to the bottom lane. Meanwhile, Puck has to jaunt across to survive up at top.
I don't know that they got very much experience, so this next wave is running into the tower as well. Insania and Matumba Man have just made a new home for themselves. Finally going to back it up now, but...
Okay. Yeah, massive over-aggression, kind of just counting on the fact that Nothing to Say is not going to really make a rotation this early on, and he doesn't really have the health to either, so Mickey's going to assure them of that, and communication will be there. But they have to go ahead to just be absolute maniacs.
I think this top lane going poorly is kind of expected, given the heroes that LGD are playing with. They can't really do a whole lot, and to me, all of this comes down to, was it worth it to take the Tiny away and stick it mid? Is Nothing to Say going to be able to kind of take over this game? It's getting kind of low now. Mickey putting the pressure on.
They've been trading health a ton in this middle lane. Like, these guys have just been absolute brawling. But yeah, so far, it's been pretty even. With the creeps under the tower, Nothing to Say is going to be absolutely fine to pick up a bunch of these. So no big threat either way, though. Mickey is looking to jump in here, go for the swashbuckle and the shield crash with the Fade Bolt from Boxy, and they will bring down the Tiny in the middle lane. Beautifully done from Liquid. Shinky have to TP out from the Tombstone, and Martu just chasing back the puck as well. Insane, even following through with a decay as well. Jesus Christ.
I'll take 4 tower shots to hit 1 more decay. You watch me.
Faith Beyond is like, really, bro? Come on.
Get out of me lane.
Yep.
Let my Matumba man farm.
He is certainly doing that. And Boxy with another rotation up here in the top lane. They're going to be able to bring down Faith Beyond. Mr. Worldwide on the Rubik moves from the middle lane to the top lane, just all over the place.
He's having a phenomenal early game, and now picks up 1 more last hit, grabs the arcane boots for himself. Feels like he can just kind of keep doing this, and PSG.LGD somewhat powerless to respond. Not very good rotating supports on their side. They went all in for the team fight with the Enigma and the Phoenix, and now they just have to kind of watch Boxy do whatever he wants in the early game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the flip side of that is Arme is going to get quite a lot from the lane. Is that a worry for you?
I think Liquid can deal with it, and we've seen the full Tricore is an answer to the Morphling. You don't even need to really have the specific matchups. If Morphling is farmed, but all 3 of your cores are just as farmed, I don't know if you're all that worried. So it's going to be up to the Tiny to try and get the puck back into this game and get all of them farming.
Mickey being thrown around a little bit in the middle lane. He is all right, as the puck also being chased away at top. So yeah, Mickey's going to be all right in mid though. It's a Phoenix rotation, not exactly the most threatening thing in the world. Oh no, you're setting me on fire.
Yeah, but Ame doesn't need him bottom at all. He's got his Falcon Blade and his Morbid Mask, so he is just chilling. Better for Innocence to go and do something elsewhere on the map. And they're trying to cut off Faith Beyond.
Oh no, they found him. Liquid, bring in the numbers and track down the puck. My goodness. No rest for Faith Beyond this game. You dare pick an off-lane puck into us, you shall pay the price. That's the statement which Liquid are making.
Not a whole lot that he can really do currently. I wonder if they even just give him the tome at 10 minutes. Just to try and get a Dream Coil to start making some plays with. I believe in the Ame Morphling, but this game is looking pretty heavy unless we start getting Nothing to Say able to make some plays.
Yeah, and I don't know how capable a puddle is of really carrying too much weight. I guess as long as it's buoyant, he'll be okay, but
yeah, it's a little tricky. Oh, Nothing to Say wants Boxy. Wishing he had a Tumbler's toy. Might still get it anyway.
Yep, the toss is there, and rolling across from Innocence. They need a little bit more, and the tree will come through, and they'll find that kill. Zai, meanwhile, going for the call with all the creeps. Not really getting the spins. Finally does start spinning a little bit, but Nothing to Say on his way out. Plenty tanky on this Tiny. Zai can't really finish the job onto this mid laner.
Alright, getting something. Faith Beyond's like, hey, can I come take some experience mid, please, guys? Or I really want my level 6. It does seem like they're going to give it to him for now. Sidelane's just being completely ignored. Matu free farming, Ame free farming. All of the action is kind of towards the mid. And even Zai just focusing on his farm a little bit more. It does seem like he might be the one to go for the Vessel this game. So picking up some of the tools to try and deal with the Morphling.
Yeah, that's an interesting pickup for an Axe. Not something I would have expected, but certainly something they need in this game. At least until the Skadi comes out on Matu as well, which I'm hoping for at some point.
Yeah, he's going to be in every fight, and sometimes you see the Rubik's going for it, but I think if you're playing it this game for Boxy, he really wants to get into like a Blink and an Aether Lens, especially to have the instant initiation against the puck and the Morphling. So I don't think he can afford to, even though his early game has been sweet, I think it's better to just stick it on a core if possible.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Yeah, it's just an earn for now. He's getting that delivered out and then queuing up a Blink Dagger. So we are going to see Zai look to get the action going shortly. Mickey picking up the Diffusal Blade, going to be the timing that he lines up there. And Matumba Man, well, he's just farming. He's picking up a Mask of Madness so far. I don't think he'll be looking to join his team too much just yet.
Yeah, huge change in pace from game 1 to game 2 here. This time last game, there was blood like flowing down the river in the middle lane.
Yeah, I think it was almost 20 kills at 10
top.
minutes or something, and here we are at 5. It's a much more considered game.
Indeed, indeed. We've got on our top hats, our monocles, sipping our tea. Having a proper game go to 2 here though. Matu, once again, just peeping away at Faith Beyond. Faith Beyond gonna have to run for the trees, but Matu is not giving up, and with the take aim, not quite enough to finish the job. So the puck will be able to get away.
Chat wheeling, everybody's got a huge amount of vision. No one's managed any successful D-wards, unfortunately, so the entire river and every team has pretty much full information. I don't even know that this is like favoring one team in particular. They're both just waiting for timings to actually start making plays. Unexpected rotation from Ame top, looking for Matu.
Yeah, he's right on him right now. Matu needs some help, and, well, the Pango just goes rolling straight past him. He's looking for the kills instead, which leaves Matu completely isolated. He's going to fall. They get the return kill onto Jinkyu, but is that really worthwhile?
I think
So. Insania, gonna be the next target here. Thrown up into the air. Sunray tracking him down. The tree throw comes in, and Innocent's gonna be able to finish off that kill there, so that's gonna be 2 down on the side of Liquid. My goodness. Huge rotation from Ame. The confidence as a carry player to just go on the enemy carry like that.
Yeah, we don't often see the Morphlings getting so involved, but Ame sees an opportunity, and a very nice way to kind of drag Faith Beyond back into the game a little bit. He's still having a hard time, but at least they kind of got him involved. The Liquid looking to make some plays of their own. They've got this Blink coming out for the Axe in a second, and they spot Jinkyu in the trees. He just TP'd down here to try and get some experience. He might be the first stack of armor.
Oh, he's looking for the black hole, but they're splitting the pot pretty nicely, and with the Culling Blade coming through as well, no chance of Jinkyu making any kind of counterplay here, and Zai already looking over towards Innocence. His Blink Dagger is on the courier, don't forget, and he's already used... Oh, he doesn't even need it. Thrown back by Boxy. Once again, Boxy just turning up in the worst possible place for PSG.LGD. Where does the guy come from? You're running away, he just kind of casually strolls out from behind a tree and says, hello there.
Yeah, I think he was just wandering down bottom since there wasn't really anywhere else to be on the map. Zai did whiff on the Culling Blade there, so has to wait 80 seconds now before he can go and get a kill with that. Now that the Blink's picked up, and yeah, Ame pinging out that the Axe is missing, is going to be going for a SNY this game, actually. Just try and tank up a little bit more, survive through the call, potentially.
Yeah, I think that's it, right? Getting the stage resistance to get out of the call and maybe break up the Pangoliers combo as well. You know, he wants to keep them chain locked down. Just gives him the chance to get up the strength morph.
Yeah, seems pretty reasonable to me. I will be interested to see if he goes for the Ags again. It does feel like that's kind of been the Morphling build. But you know, Scotty also looks super value this game. Just get in on top of the sniper, hit him, don't let him get away. We even saw him morphing into the sniper and just dropping down 3 shrapnels, which was very annoying. Liquid hoping to find something with this Blink on the Axe. Who's going to show up mid?
Yeah. Nothing to say. He's cautious. He's very, very rattled here. Not going to come anywhere near that middle lane until someone shows them the side lanes. This top lane's being pushed right the way in and no one's coming to defend it. And Faith Beyond is sounding the alarms, saying, guys, there's something afoot. I'm no detective, but there's something wrong here.
Very, very, very careful gameplay. As we do split up again somewhat now. Nothing to say, going to go deal with bottom. Faith Beyond. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of him up top here. The puck just constantly cutting waves, being a nuisance, hiding in the trees, continuing to make room on the map for Ame to get the farm. And
ooh, Boxy. He sees the orb.
yeah, he saw the orb come out of those trees.
Oh, hello, friend. Using the Icarus dive to move across, but Faith Beyond, he's got the Waning Rift, he's got the Illusory Orb, so he'll be able to get himself to safety.
Nothing to say. He's got an Invis rune.
Ooh.
Checking out what's happening, but there is a sentry.
Though. Zai's going to see him immediately jumping forward here. Does get stunned up by the Avalanche, but there is no chance of surviving this one. Boxy's going to take down. Nothing to say as the rest of LGD just trying to scatter for the horizon.
A little bit of call then blink action from Zai, but they got the kill anyway. Doesn't matter. Nobody saw anything.
Yeah, he got the battle hunger upon him, and the Tinies are like, oh, I can be seen. And the next thing he felt was the icy hand of death on his shoulder.
Yeah, Liquid were down there with numbers. They had an idea that once they brought Matu down here, they are doing a very good job, and I think they've done a fantastic job in general about reading rotations from the enemy teams. I've had a pretty good vision game so far here as well. Observer Wood still just chilling out up on the high ground. And I think this really wants Matu's head. Can he find him?
He does, yeah. If this goes wrong again, though, it's going to feel pretty bad, but Matu waddling forwards, and Sania is behind him, but Nine stay positioned beautifully in the trees. They're actually moving on to Jinkyu. The bait is real. Throw back into the Enigma, but he doesn't get a chance to get off the black hole. This has gone terribly wrong again. Liquid turn around, and they will pull. Nothing to say, limb from limb, rock by rock. Oh no, it goes wrong again, Basket.
Yeah, they find Boxy. They're going to get something on the map, but this is really painful for Nothing to Say, especially because LGD, they kind of compromised their lanes to make this happen, to stick the tiny mid instead of the puck, and it does not feel like Nothing to Say is having the most fantastic game on the tiny.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. This middle tower will probably be killed off here, and Snipe's going to be able to come in and make sure the deny doesn't happen now. Jump in and call from Zai, finding another one. A big call comes in. Down goes the Pods 5. Liquid ruling the map right now, ruling the roost. Oh no, Faith Beyond. Not like this, he's orbed forwards. He's going to go for the TP out, and Boxy doesn't have the lift. He initiated with it, so... well, at least Faith Beyond lives. That's something, I guess. And Arme is still the top of net worth. I guess that is the actual silver lining to PSG.LGD's gameplay right now.
Yeah, it's a silver lining, but I haven't been convinced about Morphling's ability to 1v5. So the fact that Liquid have the next 3 cores, I think, is very worrying, and they're just continuing to pick up the pace. They walk straight into the Roshan pit. They got some of the strength of the Undying and the Pango. They don't need anything else to really take it down very safely. And even for all the team fight that PSG.LGD have, just not a position to do anything about it right now.
Did you see that? The orb came into the pit, and both Martin and Sania stopped hitting the Roshan. I think there was a minute there. Wait a minute, not again.
I've seen this one before.
Yeah, then they realized it was boxing. They kept hitting it. But there was a brief second where they're like, what? Literally like half a second, but they did both cancel the attacks. But Boxy, you know, making them sweat, keeping them on their toes as he should.
Yeah, he's got this blink, so he can definitely catch and punish the Faith Beyond trying to split push on the puck in the side lanes. They got a pretty good read on what he wants to do, but not going to make it easy for him. And blink call onto this Phoenix. Now you see him, now you don't.
God again. Yep. And have you noticed that Matu's just leaving his... Oh, there we go. I was going to say he's leaving his courier just behind him with the Hurricane Pike. Maybe trying to bait something out there, tempting in the puck perhaps, but yeah, in the end just gets it delivered.
Right,
Not sure what that was about.
Nothing to say, not finding the hero kills, but the courier kills are there for him. Jinkyu getting run out of bottom. Any uke? Any ukes?
No ukes. Just calls and just calls. And just kills across the map as well, as Faith Beyond's also going to go down at top. Did try and make the coil blade, but...
just get straight up solo killed? Okay. Don't know what happened to him.
I guess.
Yeah, seems like it. There's not really any disables or anything around here. Matu doesn't mysteriously have a Mindbreaker or anything, so that would be a little suspicious.
We won't speculate.
Yeah.
Just maybe a certain wildcard voice line might be good here.
Definitely possible. Definitely possible. And yeah, Liquid just continuing to build up a comfortable lead. Have to be super happy having this Aegis on the sniper. Don't have to really worry about him getting jumped. Sure, Matsu's farming. Sure, Ame's farming, but just making a run at him. They saw him use the waveform.
Yeah, going on to Morphling now. I mean, it's a big target. The first time they've really tried hard for Ame's death, and the Supernova's got to come down and try and protect him. Mickey still trying to chase for the Morphling here as they take down the Supernova. Morphling does get himself to safety, though, so Ame will survive, but they have to back out of the area, and they leave the puck behind, so pretty disastrous. Once again from PSG.LGD, as Liquid just no brakes on this train at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know what you do about the sniper. Maybe once the Morphling has a few more items, he's going to be a problem for him, but everybody else is just like, you get anywhere within range and you just get 2 or 3 shot by Matu. What can you do?
That is the question. Axe nearly completed on Ame Morph. Maybe that is a turnaround play they need, but it just feels like it really is Ame versus the world right now. But if there's ever a player you want to be versus the world on your team, it is 100% Ame Morphling. This guy has carried worse games than this, from worse positions than this, but God, Matu looks strong.
Yeah, they do have massive team fight. It's just a matter of trying to get on top of Liquid at all. The sniper's always going to be so far in the back. They don't have any reason to really be grouped up. So how are you ever going to find... Maybe they can toss 2 heroes together, like we saw in Nothing to Say attempting at bottom, get the toss back into the black hole, layer the Supernova on top of it, maybe even break a Dream Coil in the middle of all of that. And Ame's going to work.
This all sounds very intricate, basically.
Yes, it's tricky. We have seen PSG.LGD pull off some really sick teamfight executions, but they are just getting really far behind right now. So it's not going to be easy, but it's kind of the only way back in for them, it feels like.
Yeah, at the very least, nothing's going to happen for a minute, because that's how long we've got left on this Aegis. So Liquid going to take up residence at bottom, try and take this tier 2 down on the bottom side of the map and close out.
Oh, Faith Beyond side's looking for him at top.
LGD. Oh, he lands a call, just about catching him on the edge there. Faith Beyond, does he have a play to get out of this one? Might just be able to. Orbs across, TP's home, and it looks like Boxy won't close the gap.
He had the right idea, but just a little bit too slow to get there.
But this is an LGD classic. Dangle someone at top, smoke up, and run to bottom once you've got the advantage. Can they find anyone? They're quick to
running for the hills, watching his Aegis time down. Just, I'm waddling out of here. Get me out.
Yeah, it's not exactly a high-octane flea.
TP's all the way back to the tier 3 at mid. It's like, they're not going to be here. There's no way.
Yep, LGD don't manage to connect with that one, so once again, Liquid gonna be okay. But yeah, I mean, I guess we're hitting the timing now. Morphling, he's got his Aghanim Scepter. Is this what he feels like he needs to turn up to the fight? He's gonna grab an Aghanim Shard as well, just to make sure he can always get a Strength Morph off. The Sniper also finishes the Monkey King bar in this timing as well, so the damage coming out from Matu is unignorable. You can't just hope that the Sniper's not gonna kill you or anything like that. You have to jump on the backlines first. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think they just have to go. I don't know if you can afford to wait around, because the sniper is going to start building into survivability items as well. You know, Matsu looking at a BKB, probably sees a Tanic, something like that. And if he has enough net worth, he can, I think, kind of comfortably sit there and not necessarily kill the Morphling, but not be too stressed if they just end up in the 1v1. And rest of the LGD cores, you know, still sub 10k net worth. It's exaggerated a little bit because they kind of have 2, 3.5 positions, right? With Jinkyu's been farming, but so is Faith Beyond. Though it's not like Jinkyu is that far ahead of Boxy.
Sure. Yeah, still a little bit away from that Blink Dagger for him, so picked up the Wraith Pact, gives him that kind of team fight. And they don't actually have one on the side of Liquid, do they? There's no Wraith Pact for them, so there is that kind of somewhat advantage, but Zai leading the charge on the Axe. Who can he find? If anyone shows themselves at mid, they are just gone.
They do have a ward very deep here that's actually spotting a couple of heroes on LGD.
Oh yeah.
So could kind of sneak over there.
Yeah, it's too hard to get to that area to make a play upon it, though. It's just too difficult, so... Liquid holding their breaths for now, and again, you know, there's always that big R factor. Roshan respawning in 50 seconds. Liquid don't want to make a misplay. It's kind of their window to take a fight. It's now kind of closing, and it's going to come back to that kind of standoff stage, but LGD seem to be happy to try and take the risk, and I feel like they should, you know? It's taking a fight on their terms is probably what they need.
Yeah, that ward is nice, but it's such a choke point for Liquid to potentially take a fight, and that is the one way that they lose is grouping too many heroes up and letting LGD, despite having no net worth on a lot of these heroes, just let them press all of their big teamfight buttons and go to town. They're staying split up.
Yeah.
They're being careful about how they take these fights, and yeah, just continuing to get their items, wait for the Roche, like you said.
Yeah, very timid smokes from both the teams. Liquid going for another one. Both these teams really want to get a pick off before that Roshan spawns, just get control off the map. Put LGD back into the base, that is the idea, and Zai just running straight through. There are a lot of LGD heroes in the area, but as you can see, once again, just trying to clear out. Xinkyu might pop this. Xinkyu is probably dead here if they see him. Zai spots him, and that's a dead Enigma.
The drag line play from Liquid was beautiful. Just all split up.
Actually found Innocence as well.
Yeah, dang. All split up like 400 range apart from each other, just sweeping all the way through that Radiant jungle, seeing what the net could catch. And now, you know, Faith Beyond at top. Boxy can find a little bit of a grab on him. Just needs to get some damage in range.
The Roshan respawn was near enough instant, by the way, so he's already up for grabs. So LGD, they can't afford to lose another hero here. Blink down to the low ground, all out from Faith Beyond to try and close the distance. He does get away, but Mickey, hello, he is in the pit, and he sees a very good-looking, big, scaly boy. He starts tearing away at him. Matu as well, peeping away. LGD, they need to get here, and they need to get here now, and I don't think now is going to be quick enough, so it's looking like Liquid going to be able to take this Aegis and this Shard uncontested. LGD, not much of an answer.
Yeah. What can you do when the Roshan's basically an instant respawn? They were hoping to get out on the map, find a pick off, maybe look at the Roshan themselves, but instead, maybe you can still look for some kind of a pick. Liquid's splitting up a little bit to try and shove in all the lanes and start taking advantage of this Aegis. But alright, they're being careful. They did kind of make this mistake a little bit in the previous game, so just playing together.
Faith Beyond going to the backlines to just try to get the quick pick and out, and that is exactly what they're able to do. They kill off the Undying and now just sprinting back into their jungle. And this is going to be a Rolling Thunder wasted from Mickey at the very least, so a small win here from PSG.LGD. You know, they take tiny... Faith Beyond's going for more, but he actually gives away the coil, but it doesn't matter. Boxy just gets completely destroyed by Nothing to Say. Nothing to Say getting low, though, but in comes the Supernova and the Sunray to heal them all up. And now, in comes Arme, stealing the sniper form and looking for another target. Faith Beyond on the run. Zai's going to catch him, though. Arme can't really pump the damage through, but they're going to go onto the backlines. They will take down the sniper for the first time. His teammates are falling as well. Zai going to pop the BKB and try and survive through this one. Matu just got a 4-staff away and the concussive shot to bounce back the Morphling. That is all he wants to do. Just get himself to safety. Liquid hit the reset button, but it's PSG.LGD which ripped the Aegis out of their hands.
Yeah, Liquid, I think once they use the Rolling Thunder like that, they probably need to just to get the hell out. But they try and hold around that high ground. They had some nice vision to play on, but not a whole lot of contribution that Mickey can make once he's used it. So yeah, and Nothing to Say, great play, stops the coil getting turned back around, and as soon as Ame bursts up onto this high ground, all three Liquid cores just kind of having to run for it. Matu almost makes the escape, but there's too much chase from LGD.
Yeah, they lose the puck. It was an interesting, I think they both concussive shot it away from each other on the sniper form and on the, ooh. Live, Nothing to Say almost gets caught down at bottom, but Zai won't find him. Yeah, just blink to the tree line and TP'd out on the Tiny, so Nothing to Say does just narrowly live through that.
Well, the Liquid game plan going to get kind of knocked off the rails a little bit here with the losing that Aegis. Won't really be able to exert themselves on the map too much more. And LGD, they've now got a blink up on this Xinkyu Enigma. So with the Morphling and the Morphling and the puck and even the Tiny just kind of running in. Won't really be able to exert themselves on the map too much more. And LGD, they've now got a blink up on this Jin-Q Enigma. So with the Morphling and the Morphling and the Puck, and even the Tiny just kind of running in every single fight. I think I may have called Tiny Jin-Q in that last one, but yeah, just with nothing to say, running in every single fight. He's going to have a whole lot of information to just try and find the sniper in the back lines. Liquid, protect the sniper. LGD, try and peep him yourself. That's really what this is all going to come down to.
And, you know, we were waxing lyrical about how it's going to be Arme versus 5, but honestly, like, it was the rest of LGD that made those pickoffs, the 2 pickoffs to start the fight, which meant that Liquid actually started on a disadvantage, which is pretty huge. Nothing to say. Innocence and Faith Beyond just going in with the in-and-out plays, utilizing every single bit of damage they can squeeze out of their heroes there to just get the picks.
Yeah, kind of shocking the amount that they're able to get done with not a whole heck of a lot of net worth. But it is going to be a very different fight when Mickey's got the Rolling Thunder. He's got a full Abyssal Blade picked up now as well. So whoever he finds is probably just dead. Diffu plus the Rolling Thunder plus the roll-up plus the Abyssal Blade. Not a whole lot of getting away from that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta respect that. Even a Morphling, Strength Morphing. I mean, he doesn't even have the BKB. He can't really be in the position where he's running away from a fight, or he's just gonna get run down. Even him.
Yeah, I don't think it helps him that much. It's pretty much just the Rolling Thunder, and that's kind of it. So I like the decision here from Ame to just tank up, go for the stats, and yeah, just a bit of a lull. Liquid have to see if they can kind of find their footing again. Matumba Man, no interest in any kind of survivability. It's just straight into damage. He's got a Daedalus queued up. That's going to be the deterrent, is just overwhelming damage. You get anywhere within his range, and it's going to be a rough time.
He's got, very, very clearly one thing on his mind, and he wants to be able to out-DPS his Morphling if he gets anywhere near him. Might be tricky. I don't know. Morphling does do a good amount, and also has a decent amount of anti-carry with that Aghanim Scepter, so always a threat as they manage to find Jin-Q here, and he unfortunately is going to get his muffin buttered by Zai.
Yeah, I think Zai came around the corner, saw that the Eidolons were life-stealing on that camp, and it's like, oh, Enigma's right here, is he? He got the blink away, but yeah, Liquid, another one of these sweeps through their jungle. Just clearing out the map. Nothing to say is pinging Zai at bottom. The rest of the team's going to take a little while to get over here, and it looks like Zai's going to be okay.
He's a cautious kitty.
Yeah,
knows that he's out here alone on the map, so not going to take any unnecessary risks, and nothing to say will, unfortunately, back himself up in this bottom lane. Will not be chasing any further for this Axe. That's a game of inches at the moment. One small mistake could result in a huge, huge shift of momentum in this game, despite the advantage for Liquid at the moment.
Yeah, one little pick-off could change this a whole lot. Liquid, I think they have picked up a gem just to try and secure the vision game, feel a little bit safer. It's not 100% safe, right? There's still gonna be areas on the map where LGD could just be smoking over to you and find it, but it helps you to just exert control a little more. It's surprising for me how little Liquid have been able to control the opposing outposts, and they constantly had to deal with pressure on their own side. And the tier 2s are both still standing at mid at bottom, so LGD have had quite good control over this Radiant area of the map for the last little while.
Yeah. There's very little vision on both teams, to be fair, but they will now see something on this dire ward for Team Liquid.
Might be quiet for the next little bit. There's still 1 minute until we get into the Roshan window, so both teams, unless they see a really clear opportunity, might just be chilling for that.
Ooh, it's a smoke up from the side of PSG.LGD. Now, the Enigma was just spotted on a ward here, so Liquid,
the scan
well
hits.
gathered.
They know that somebody's over here. It was just Zai flickering it for a second.
Yeah, it's kind of putting a bit of fear into PSG.LGD. They don't know what to make of this.
They're wishing that it was a better rune than regen. I think the hope was to bait that. They, with the scan, see if anybody was there. They get the scouting with the Eidolon. They were just hoping to get the jump.
Zerba comes down. They have all the vision they could want, and immediately the fight breaks down. Another say trying to jump on the Pangolier, but he gets the roll up and can get the Rolling Thunder off as well. Will run down. Nothing to say. Faith Beyond down the back lines as well. This fight is over as soon as it's out. Those Jinky just are coming on to Mickey. That's not going to happen though. The sniper from the high ground ripping him down as the call comes through onto the Morphling. Ame needs to leave, but I'm not sure he's going to be allowed to. Waveform away with the TP. Can they close the gap? No, they cannot, but they'll take down just about everybody else on the side of PSG.LGD. Liquid rip them apart.
Oh, the rampage being denied by Ame escaping. They tried to go on to Mickey, but they just couldn't kill him off quickly enough. He got the roll-up off, and then, yeah, the fight was just completely over from that point. Matumba Man, he had the high ground. It was just shredding through absolutely everybody.
So brave to approach Matumba Man on the high ground there. PSG.LGD just thought they could get a singular pick-off. Didn't really know that Liquid were all together like that. Well, they did see a bunch of them on the ward, but felt like they could get the catch before the axe. Here we go.
Yeah, so Zai gets the BKB off. They tried to pop Mickey, but they just didn't have the damage. It's a little tricky when back in the live game, Boxy looking pretty dead. But yeah, they just didn't have the damage. It's a little tricky when they've gone for like right-click on the Tiny, but the puck has gone an E-blade. And so they couldn't quite combo their damage together. I think even if they kill Mickey there, the fight is still going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, Sniper's completely uncontested on the high ground through the whole thing. Like, I don't even think the Morphling got off the Morph on him.
Yeah.
He was just that far away.
Right-click on the Tiny, but the puck has gone an E-blade. And so they couldn't quite combo their damage together. I think even if they kill Mickey there, the fight is still going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, Sniper's completely uncontested on the high ground through the whole thing. Like, I don't even think the Morphling got off the Morph on him. He was just that far away.
Yeah, Matsu is just sitting pretty. Oh. Who wants to come and hit the mid-wave? Anybody interested? No, okay.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
And okay, well, we're chilling for Roche. It's a fairly long respawn, so still another minute to go. And even with Boxy dead, Liquid using the Rolling Thunder, gonna go for a play here onto Innocence.
Yeah, and there's more heroes behind him as well. I think everyone else just needs to leave. Mickey probably just going to be able to get this kill onto, although they say that, they're actually turning around. They're jumping forward onto Mickey. He's the one who gets taken down instead. Huge turnaround from PSG.LGD. Again, these little plays getting them the advantage here. And this is in Roshan territory. He's respawning in 30 seconds. They need Mickey for this.
Feels like just a miscommunication from Liquid, maybe not wanting to press forward, worried about Jin Q coming in with the black hole, and yeah, Mickey coming out of that Rolling Thunder, just wanting to get the Phoenix kill. Even if he gets it, it's certainly not worth it. Maybe they won't get punished for it, but looking a little antsy there. And now Liquid just gonna have to chill out. He does have a buyback, but I think they can hold the Roshan for long enough for him to just respawn. Spam some shrapnels.
Respawns. Let's see. Yeah, it's very difficult for LGD to actually get into the pit, even with this guy dead. But Army says no,
he's gonna force it.
Fine, so.
All right, show me your buyback, Mickey. Are you gonna contest me?
All right, thank you, Ame, for completely proving me wrong.
Yeah.
Just walks into the pit and
yeah, okay.
Liquid, well, they have to come to this. They're going to smoke themselves up. 17 seconds on the Pangolier. They don't know how low this Roche is just yet. A shrapnel is going to reveal it, and now Nothing to Say immediately jumping in once again, trying to bring down Insania. Will be able to do so. BKB from Matu as he just runs himself away. I'm pretty sure Ame just wants to get back in the pit, but he won't be allowed to do so as Zai jumps in with the call. E-Blade comes out, Black Hole comes out, but absolutely nothing caught inside of it. And now they'll look over towards Zai. Zai, I'm not sure he's getting away from this one. Ame is going to be able to take him out, and oh no, they find Matumba Man as well. Nothing to Say gets a big wraparound and catches out the sniper. LGD will return to the pit. Is there anything you can do? The buybacks are there, but it's too little, too late. Mickey's in though. He's trying to lock down this Morphling, but he's got an Aegis and so much HP to work with. There's nothing really to be done from Liquid there. Buybacks for absolutely nothing. As LGD once again, just like game number one, find the huge turnaround moments for themselves.
Amazing patience from Nothing to Say. He kind of slipped into the background there after getting the initial kill. So he kills Insania here, kind of resets away, Lets the rest of the team make the space. He's chilling. I think they're hitting the tombstone this whole time.
Eyes
this is
on the
happening.
Tumba man here as well.
Yeah,
And eyes on nothing to say.
He pressed all of his defensive buttons really early after Faith Beyond jumped in on top of him, and now the instant that Nothing to Say sees him, we just annihilated him. Got to fight in the live game as well.
Yes, we do. Supernova comes down as Ame started this one, trying to get on top of Boxy, and he's going to be able to kill him off. It looks like, well, Sniper trying to do what he can from the sidelines, but can't really approach this fight too closely as the call comes through onto the puck, but he's got the A on disc to keep himself alive. Ame taking a little bit of damage here, but just popping that Satanic and healing himself right the way up again. Nothing to say, trying it again, but Matu keeping his distance from that terrifying Tiny as they close the gap onto Zai. They keep finding the kills on PSG.LGD. Liquid, they can't stop the hemorrhaging.
Yeah, they just can't seem to structure their team fight. Can't seem to get the jumps. The puck is just coming in and out. The Tiny is jumping in and out. They're snapping at the heels of Liquid in these fights, and people are getting dragged off into the darkness, never to be seen again. Matu's kind of retreating up onto the high ground. Finally, he's got his back up against the wall, maybe feeling safe. But
I will become the tier 4s.
Yeah.
My brothers.
Oh, man. All right. This could end up being Liquid just having to sit back. Maybe we're on the trajectory for another 70-minute game. Something like that. Liquid kind of running out of timings from here, though. There's still some room to grow on the Axe and the Pango, but the Morphling is absolutely huge. Nothing to Say has managed to catch up really nicely on this Tiny. And I don't know how you can ever confidently leave the high ground with the way that these last couple of fights have played out. They've just been out-executed by LGD.
They really, really have. Yeah, these fights have been absolutely beautiful. Just baiting out the BKBs, waiting out the timings. Like, there's no hardcore commit from LGD. It's very, very soft. But Liquid have no choice but to react so hard. Like, they have to put the BKB on the Sniper there, or he's just going to get blown up. Like, that's the issue with these fights. And that's the issue with the Sniper.
Yeah, the wall around him is crumbling a bit. The Liquid cores are somewhat being dealt with. Part of the problem is that they have, like, the two cores that they have don't really want to front line. Ooh, nice
Unlock's coming through. Zai's in here. Does he have the damage to take down this big Tiny? I mean, the rest of Liquid coming in to try and take him out, but in comes Innocence with the Sunray, healing him up, jumping in comes a Supernova, but they've taken down Nothing to Say, and now, well, there's a little bit of a lull in the fight, but Ahmed, he's jumping in deep here. He wants to try and find some targets on the backlines. Faith Beyond's able to slow down Zai. Coil comes out, doesn't actually catch it, but he's still going to die regardless. Zai will die. Now, they've also found Boxy as well. Faith Beyond finding another. Mickey and Insania just waiting on the high ground, but at Matu, oh my god, Nothing to Say. That's a big jump, but the black hole comes out from Shinku, holding back the Sniper. They've caught the big boy. Matu blinking away from this one, trying to get himself out with the 4 stuff, but he is going to survive, but his teammates will not. 4 dead on the side of Liquid. LGD. Ame is absolutely doing it this game. Any doubters, put you to shame.
That one death from Mickey and LGD just absolutely flipping a switch this game. Fight to fight.
They're going for it.
Yeah, they're heading straight in.
Tier 4 towers. Liquid, there is really nothing to be done. I mean, what can you do? They will go back. They will look towards the tier 3s, but Boxy and Sniper, I mean, they're respecting the possibility of buybacks on the side of Liquid, to be fair, but Ame, he's gonna force them, and actually Boxy, he could be in some trouble. Matu's coming aside from the cross. Oh, just about gonna help him get back into the fountain, but Nothing to Say at Ame. They're on the Ancient now. What more can you do? There is a disarm out onto the Sniper as well. A black hole for good measure. It's Nothing to Say. And Ame take down the Ancient, and they will take down Liquid with a huge 2-0. What a turnaround for this team in stark response to day number 1.
They have been looking phenomenal today. Fantastic 2-0 against OG. That was playing fast. That was winning their lanes, really steamrolling, and kind of a different look here against Liquid, a very different series, and yet LGD still just finding phenomenal teamfight execution, looking way, way crisper than they did on day number 1.
Yeah, it's really, really coming together for this team. This is LGD.